Hello, my loves, and welcome to another episode of the Lux and Leverage podcast. Your host here, Michelle Hext. Welcome to all of my new listeners and welcome back to my regulars. You guys, I have got more energy than I know what to do with this Monday morning. I have already been to the gym. I've started to introduce mobility stuff into my life because it's time. And I have done a live stream. I've been chatting with my inner circle. It's all been happening and it's before 9 a.m. And now I'm sitting down to record this podcast for you. This is the second time I've recorded this podcast. Saturday morning, I came in and went to record it and sat here for freaking 35 minutes and recorded it. And then for some reason, it was lost. So I don't know what happened to the recording, but it's gone. And so I sulked for 2 days and now I'm ready to come back at it. All right. So today I'm talking to you about what to do when someone steals your idea. Unfortunately, in this industry, there is no shortage of people who are lazy fucking thinkers who will steal other people's ideas because they're too, what's the word I'm looking for? Lazy, and just don't have it within them to create their own ideas and just dig in and do what it takes to create their own stuff, right? And unfortunately for me, I had somebody from within my mastermind / inner circle steal one of my ideas last week. And I was shocked because there's one rule within a mastermind, right? And that is that you don't steal other people's ideas. You just don't. It's like a mastermind works or an inner circle works because people have the freedom to connect with other people who are on massive journeys and doing big things, and they need a safe place to share. So it is abhorrent to me that someone would take ideas from a group like that. Now, this particular person, it's not her first time. Like, honestly, we've been working together off and on for, 3 or 4 years, something like that. And there have been many times when I've looked at her sales pages and read it and it's like, is this my sales page? But I let it go because I've always been pretty generous with, if something works for me, feel free to use it. But that's a marketing strategy, typically, not freaking sales page copy and offer copy. But, she does similar things to me. And it just became more and more similar to mine over time. I'd also been on a group call where one of my other masterminders, we developed this incredible niche, this incredible offer. It was bloody amazing and so clean, clear. It had millions written all over it. And this particular client was on that call and she was like, oh, well, I do something like that. And I just made it very clear, you are not going to copy this idea. So she's had form for it. But to be told or to see what she'd done, it was quite shocking. So what did I do? I removed her from the inner circle. I removed her from my world, from my list, from my groups, from everywhere. I billed her outstanding 2 payments for the mastermind and let her know that she had breached the terms and conditions. I let her know in no uncertain terms how disappointed and disgusted I was with what she'd done. She didn't just steal my idea. She also has partnered up with another coach, and that other coach is also running my idea. The beauty of it is, though, they don't understand what it took to actually create this offer and to get it working and delivering replicatable outcomes for people. They don't understand what that actually took and what it takes. And so, yeah, I don't see it lasting very long. But at the end of the day, it felt like a big betrayal. And the ladies inside the mastermind were so pissed on my behalf. Every one of them was messaging me privately and they were ropeable. And one of them raised the issue, and this particular client had, when she was first coming to me, she said, I had this idea and I was working with a mentor and the mentor stole my idea. I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. And so I said, yeah, well, that would never happen here. And when they had all seen what happened, because I called this woman out inside the group, had screenshots, had all the receipts, she said, yeah, it's not just your ideas she's stealing. It's like, we're all vulnerable to that. And it's like, yeah. And one of the things about me is when you're working with me closely inside my inner circle or inside my mentorship, I'm an open book. So I very openly share my process. I share the ups and downs. I share the teething problems. I share how we get things working. I share the lot. So if somebody wants to exploit that, they could, and she did. And that's really unforgivable, right? I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to change how I do things. I'm not going to change who I am because somebody couldn't be trusted with that information, right? I'm not going to change who I am because someone else was an asshole, essentially, and neither should you. So let's talk about, because it's not just about me, this is rife in this industry. And it's people like this coach who give this industry such a bad name. Okay, I got one more thing to say. So this particular coach, a few months ago, she launched something called 8-figure something. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm not going to name names, but 8-figure something. She's not even made 6 figures this year. And she's talking about 8 figures. She hasn't done 7 figures. She hasn't done 6 figures. So why the fuck is she talking about 8 figures when she hasn't done that herself? That is so out of integrity. And I have a big problem with people who do that, because people like that are damaging, or they have damaged this industry, because some poor sucker is going to sign up with either that product or the other product that she ripped off of mine. And yeah, you know what's going to happen, right? We've all been there where we've invested in the person that's made big promises and they don't know how they're going to fulfill that promise. And it makes me furious, not just for me, not because of what just happened, but because of the blight it is on our industry. And, I'm not mad about competition. When you're leading from the front and this is a category of one. Well, it was a category of one. It's a category of something. There are other podcasting programs out there for sure, but they're not this program, and they're not delivering audiences like I am able to deliver. And so when you're leading like that, you are going to have copycats. They're lazy. And most of the time, they can copy the visuals, they can copy the words, they can copy all the things. But at the end of the day, they don't have the wherewithal or the stamina to actually figure out how to make it a quality product, because they don't care. They don't care. And that's the problem. That is the problem that we have in our industry. And it's frustrating as fuck. There is no doubt about it. And you can't do much about it, right? So I have had people say, well, can you take legal action? And it's like, I could, for sure. But when, I have trademarks on things, but even with a trademark, somebody only needs to change things ever so slightly for it to not be liable, right? And so you're going to do that for every person that comes out with an offer that's similar or a promise that's similar. Like, I don't want to live my life that way. I just know that for me, it's like I'm moving on, right? I've got my eyes firmly on where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. Nothing changes for me. Not a thing changes. And that is how it's got to be, right? Because there are always going to be copycats. Unfortunately, it's part of the deal, but watch what happens with them, right? I don't want you to give so much time and energy and emotion and emotional fallout when something like this happens, only to see 2 months later they're promoting something else because they couldn't figure it out, right? So just let them do whatever the fuck they're going to do. You do you, and operate within integrity, because integrity is one of those things that is free and we get to maintain. I can sleep at night. Can she and people like her? I don't know. Maybe they probably can, because if they couldn't, they wouldn't be doing that stuff in the first place, right? But reputations are damaged by that stuff. And, one of the things that my clients had said in the inner circle is, well, I hope it was worth it. And it's like, exactly, right? So she's damaged in my eyes as far as this is an untrustworthy person. This is someone who lacks integrity in a major way. This is someone who's willing to steal from her mentor. So is this really, or anyone else really, not just me? And people like that, they have no substance because they don't take the time to build their own foundation. So they do topple over. It always happens. And we don't want to be giving away our power and our energy and our emotion and everything else to something that's probably not going to last. You're allowed to have a moment, right? I'm allowed to have a moment of being absolutely pissed off and ropeable and all of those things, but it's just a moment, because I've seen this so many times, and maybe you haven't because you haven't been in this industry long enough, but I have. I've experienced it. People have been ripping off my shit since day one. It's always happened. And it typically doesn't happen from within my ranks. And that, that's a gut punch for sure. I didn't like that at all. But I had, my masterminders was also supportive. My intern was so supportive. She's like, do you need to jump on a call? I'm like, no, I'm good. And then she called me anyway, and she was just amazing. I felt so supported and I felt really good about how I handled it. I just took action straight away. I did have a moment. It's like, are you being reactive? Are you overreacting? It's like, no, it's unacceptable. And I checked in with my masterminds. I'm like, I'm not overreacting, am I? And they're like, absolutely not. And so I did what I had to do. I didn't feel bad about charging her remaining payments because she was in breach. I didn't change anything. I didn't change the rules. She changed the rules. And so for me, it was just like, do what needs to be done, have your moment, feel the feelings, move through the feelings, and then get on with your life. And so literally within a couple of hours, I had one of my inner circle just say, I'm just checking in. Are you okay? And I'm like, you know what? I'm so moved on. I've done everything that I needed to do logistically to get rid of her. And now I'm chatting with the team about replicating the podcast Millionaire for YouTube. So to create a product to build audiences on YouTube. So it's like, I'm already focused on the next thing. Like I am so focused on the next thing. The podcast Millionaire is bedded down. It's looking amazing. Things are working really well there. And now I get to focus on what's the next thing that I get to build that, she'll probably copy. And I had to laugh, right? I have this other project called Woman Inc. that's coming next year. It's very exciting. And, she knows about that too. So I said to the group, don't be shocked if you see Lady Inc. pop up online. It's like, it's almost predictable, that people are going to copy, but no one can copy you. No one can copy your unique take on things because only you have lived your life and gained your experience and are you, right? So you be you, keep showing up. Don't be sidelined or derailed by people copying shit because it's going to happen. It is always going to happen. Is it fair? Fuck no. Is it annoying? Absolutely. Are you allowed to be mad? 100%. But do not let it get in the way of you doing what you came here to do. Those people will fall away. They're a dime a dozen. They are a dime a dozen. So you can't be derailed by that because it's meaningless. Yes, it's like a bee sting, right? It's like, fuck, that hurt. And you've got to deal with it. And, the pain goes away and then you forget you were ever bitten by a bee, right? That's how we need to be. So I don't love it for us that this happens, but at the end of the day, we can't do much about it. And we can chase legally and we can do all those things, but we're not protected in that way. It's like a joke, honestly. People can steal shit all the time. So it's like, yeah, sure, it sounds good, but we are not protected like we should be protected. And that's just the way that it is. So we have to have a level of acceptance around that, and then we've got to move on with our lives, right? All right, that's it. I hope it never happens to you. It probably will. If it does, you're going to be fine. You are going to be fine. Remember that you are the person that is within integrity. You are the person that is doing everything right. And because here's the thing, right? You it makes people feel a little powerless at different times, right? And it's like, you're a powerful fucking motherfucker. So don't let that bother you. Don't let it derail you. For me, it just made me more determined than ever, like so much more determined than ever before. It's like, oh, watch this. And then it was, yeah, anyway, I could go on, but I'm not going to. If it's happened, I'm sorry. If it happens again, I'm sorry it happened to you. But you know what? This could potentially be the making of you. And you get to find out what you're made of, and you get to find out how far you've actually evolved as a human being and as an entrepreneur when these things are just like, oh, freaking mosquito bite, go away. That's where we want to be, because entrepreneurship is full of challenges like this, unfortunately. It really is. And that's why not everybody can do it. That's why not everybody is built for this. It's all great. It's all beer and Skittles when the things are working and you're not challenged in any way and the money's rolling in. Of course, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur when that's happening, but they don't want the same thing when the shit hits the fan and when this stuff happens. It's like, not everybody can withstand this. And that's why very few of us have been in it for a long time or plan to be in it for a long time. Not everybody can handle this. And you can. You absolutely can. If you follow me, if you're in my world, I know for sure that you absolutely can. So have your minute, do what you need to do to, move on the emotions and the energy and all that sort of stuff, and then get back in the saddle, my friend, because we ride at dawn. Okay, that's it for this week. I will see you next week. Big love. Take care.